So I read this cute book recently called Sipsworth. There's so much I want to say about this book. This book was published earlier this year, I think maybe like earlier in the summer. It's one of those books like if you really do just sit down and read, you could probably finish in a single day. So basically this book is about an 80-something-year-old woman and a mouse. It's not like magical realism, it's not fantasy, it's just a normal contemporary, there's no talking mouse, there's nothing in this book. And it's about this 80-something-year-old retired woman living in England. She returns to England after 60 years of living abroad. I think she was living in Australia. Her husband and her son have passed away. She's very lonely. She's kind of looking forward to dying too. I know that sounds so morbid, but that's just how she feels. She lives in this small house and all she's looking forward to is just dying. She has her routine and she's just living her life alone. She's very lonely, but one day it's like pouring rain and she sees her neighbor throwing away a bunch of stuff, like just trash. And she sees this little toy in the trash that reminds her of her son. She goes out into the rain, she sees that toy, she takes that toy, but she also takes this like fish tank and she takes them both into her home and she sees a mouse inside of the fish tank. She hates this mouse. Like she sees that mouse and she's like instantly like disgusted. She's like, ugh, a mouse. She's like, get the shit out of here. She even like goes to an exterminator and even like a vet to just like get this mouse out of her house. She sees that he's injured and then a couple days goes by and she just observes this mouse. He's like in her sink, he's injured, he's like living out of this broken fish tank. She slowly starts to like make a little home for him in the sink, feed him. She names him Sipsworth and she talks to him and she tells him stories and they have like their own routine going. They watch TV together. It's literally the cutest relationship. Like they form a bond, a connection. Even Sipsworth, like this normal mouse, he starts like listening to Helen and reacting to her stories. And Helen kind of like, she has this new reason to live. She wants to heal this mouse. She wants to spend her days basically with this mouse. She doesn't actually say it out loud, but it's like part of her routine now. This book was just such a breath of fresh air. It's about like connection and friendship. It has sentiment and it has humor. So towards like the end of the book, the mouse starts having like heart problems and Helen is a retired cardiologist. She's like award-winning cardiologist too. She helps the mouse. She helps him get back to normal. Helen herself gets sick and she's admitted into the hospital and the mouse comes and sees her. It's so cute. Man, this book was very emotional, but in like the best way. And I feel like it came at such a perfect time in my life. There's a squirrel that comes to my front door almost every single day. I've noticed it like playing in the front yard, so I started like leaving food out for it, like nuts. He didn't like cashews very much. He kind of just like left them there and then the ants got to them. Eventually he just started like sneaking up to my front door, which is completely made of like glass. You can like see outside clearly and this squirrel can like see inside the house clearly too. He just started like slowly crawling and coming up to the front door and just like trying to see inside and to see if I'm there, I guess. And I started to feel like I'm his new mama, you know? I started to form like this bond. His name is Sidhu, by the way. At the back of the house, I see a whole bunch of squirrels just like running around, and I know which one is Sidhu. And I know I probably shouldn't feed him, but something in me is just like, just feed him, like take care of him. So that's what I'm doing. I want to get an actual house pet, like a dog or a cat. I'm leaning towards a cat. I feel like I have very much cat energy, and I just want something to love, hence me feeding me squirrels. That's my little review of Sipsworth. I highly recommend anybody who's watching this video to read it. It's very short, it's very cute, it's very just one of the best books I've read this year. And I know I've been saying that about a lot of books recently, but I have been reading a lot of really good books recently.
The following year there was only one, and this past year their birth date is January 1st, regardless of when they're born. So they all age 1 year. So